to another edition of ITW, the show that's going to help you enhance instruction through innovation. I'm Aubrey Harrison. David actually is here today. I'm working on my New Year's resolution. He is behind the camera doing us all a favor. So we appreciate David for doing the recording, but I have a very special guest, a very good friend of DNA. We have with us Mershon.
Vescusi.
Vescusi.
You just say it like a good Italian boy. Mershon Vescusi.
Vescusi. I like that. And she is here with us for this week's edition of ITW. Thank you for joining us today. And can you let our audience know what's our topic going to be? What we're going to let them know about how are we going to enhance instruction through innovation today?
This innovation, I'm so excited to be here. It's about augmented reality. It's breaking through every part of technology through advertising, education. It is going to take the rooms of your classroom and bring an explosion of insight and comprehension. It's amazing. I'm so excited to share it with you today.
Right, and there's so many great things that you can do with it. Actually, I was reading about it. This is going to be one of the big trends of 2015 that I was reading about. So you want to make sure you stick around.
You need to learn about this.
Right, make sure you stick around and you check out this week's edition of ITW. So today we're going to be talking about augmented reality, kind of bringing it in to the classroom. I know I see it a lot. I am a huge football fan, and I've noticed when I watch football, there's a little yellow line to kind of indicate
I've always wondered how they did that.
Yeah, it's a first down marker. That's an example of augmented reality. It's something that's there. We don't even know it, but that's one way that it's being used. And I know you've seen it a lot with Google Maps too.
Yes.
Right?
In fact, Google Maps, whenever you pull it up and you can look and have a bird's eye view of like a store that's nearby, it has like the image of the store. That image is augmenting the reality for a deeper understanding. Like, it's everywhere, we just don't realize it.
Exactly. And what we want to talk about today, maybe you can help me with this, is maybe some implementation ideas. If I'm a teacher and I'm like, this is a very interesting idea, but how would I use this in the classroom? What would be something that you would tell me?
Well, you know, augmenting the reality of the classroom is one of the most innovative and exciting ways of moving into education. You know, can you imagine opening a textbook and being able to have a video come out of an image? Can you imagine taking the walls of your classroom and augmenting it so that your voices of your students and the presentations of their writing would just come right out of the wall? It's like it really is kind of magical.
Yes.
You bring your device up and hover it on the wall and you have a video of a student reading their work. So, you know, augmented reality can be used in every content area. It is incredible for ESL students, for students that need to access it in visual or auditory style. It can bring your classroom to life. Right. It's amazing.
And that's why we have her on the show today. You see the excitement and enthusiasm that she has for augmented reality. So what we're going to do is we're going to take you guys through a few examples of how you can create your augmented reality through some different tools.
Yeah, the best app out there is Erasmus, and it is a little tricky to use, and that's why we have some resources for you, why we want to take you through the app so you can understand how to start on this tomorrow.
Right, so check out some of these examples of how you can begin implementing this into your lesson.
Let's go.
So we're here with Mershon, and she is going to kind of guide us through using augmented reality in the classroom. So how would you kind of explain this to a teacher?
Well, I would say one of the first places that you need to start is in your camera roll. When you are working with your students and your students are making connections to a text, you need to capture that and bring it down into your camera roll. Or your instruction. If you want to have a flipped classroom and you want to put your instruction into the camera roll, or your students are publishing their work, or you know, just like now as I'm trying to explain something to you, with my students I'm trying to impress upon them and have them comprehend something. I'll have kids videotape. Capture that. The first place to start with augmented reality is the actual footage in your camera roll.
Right. And the great thing about that is, as long as it goes to the camera roll, there's lots of different apps that do that. There's iMovie, Telegami, so there's a variety of different things. Chatterpix that people can go to and put that on to their camera roll. And you're telling me that once they get on the camera roll, we can now use that in Erasmus?
And yes, and that's what's beautiful about
Wow,
it. Yeah,
okay.
so you can app smash, which we love.
Yes, I love
it. But you take that video and then you bring it into the Erasmus app, and you connect that video to a target.
Okay.
And the target could be the word wall. It could be a page in their textbook. It could be a page in their notes. It could be a website.
Okay.
That target has to be consistently the same when you come back to it, right?
Right.
But you take the footage from the camera roll, the connection, the story, the published, writing, and you connect it in Erasmus to a target. That's the second step.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're getting the footage on the camera roll. Second step is to get a target.
That's
and
right.
You said it could be a book, website, anything.
It needs to be probably a two-dimensional image. If you like, we tried it on a plush doll, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to be standing in that perfect right position. It needs to be a two-dimensional image, so it can be a worksheet, it can be a book, it can be something that they wrote, they draw, it can be a website.
Okay.
But that becomes your target. You take that footage and you connect it to the target inside of the Erasmus app.
And that's the third step.
The third step is creating, like you said, the Erasmus. And finally, you open up the Erasmus app, and the Erasmus app actually looks, let me just show you, it kind of looks like a camera roll.
Mm-hmm.
You open it up, and right here, it kind of just looks like you have a camera. And so you're looking at the world in real time. Once it hovers over the target, your video, your image, your footage from that camera roll comes forward. Wow. So students are just looking around the room, they see their classmates, they can see their own hand there. It's reality. As soon as it lands on that target, that video comes forward, and it has really kind of a magical quality, so engaging. And in a private, personal way, they can receive that video, that conversation again.
Okay.
And it just builds comprehension. I had a student that we were trying to make a connection for her, an insight about inferencing. We videotaped that conversation. We attached it to a blended learning website, and so when she had the time for that independent practice, she could bring that conversation back and connect to something that may have been like 3 days ago in our unit. But she could access it if she needed it. And because she was in the video and she was making those connections, it was really meaningful. Right. And it created that loop.
Right, and that's very powerful. That's something that we need to start implementing more often. So we have the 3 steps. We have the getting the video on the camera roll. We have getting our target, and then we want to marry it through Erasmus. And once we do that, that power will allow us to make connections with our students. So building connections with our students with augmented reality and Erasmus. Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of ITW. Hopefully I learned a lot. Hopefully you did too. Thank you so much
it's my pleasure.
For joining us. Now, I know we usually try to expose people to tools like this or to these kinds of things. Augmented reality is new. Is there any other place where they can go and get more resources and find out more about this?
Yes. In fact, if you click on the link below, there are many resources on this website that will help you. There are so many videos, and there's a YouTube channel, and really I would highly recommend it because there are many apps that are easier to use, but this is such a powerful app. Once you understand how to use it, it'll be easy for you, but you might want some follow-up resources, and they're right down here, so click on it, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
I can't say it enough. Thank you so much. We loved having you on the show.
Thank you.
We got to do this again. You guys know we want your feedback. We want to see what you guys think of all of our videos. You can always send us a tweet at CMS to the core, or you can send us an email at cln@cms.k12.nc.us. Thank you guys for joining us. Make sure you stick around for next week's edition.
Can't wait to see your channel and see all the good work you're going to do at your schools, right?
Thank you. Check us out for the next ITW.